Yo, what's up, people? Here's a new asset pack, which is a bunch of overlays basically, and I might do a few more of these, um, because these are very, very useful to add extra detail to stuff. For example, like walls. Um, so here we have a regular wall. Let's put this to CPU for a minute. Um, and I have this little grunge overlay that y'all can use to just grunge stuff up. And this is if you overlay it in the textures, you get a bunch more variety. And then I have a bunch of graffiti, grungy, yeah, I think it's called just like scribble stuff that you can dirty up your walls with. And I also have some wires and cables overlays um, that, for example, if you look at one of my probably favorite artists in that draw stuff, like 2D artists. It's Ismail Insiuglu. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but he has really figured it out when it comes to. I can probably put this in full screen, but like these small little like cable droops and like all this messiness and like it's mostly just scribbles, but yeah, like having these small graffiti things to just gritty up the walls and like he's very good at using um scribbles and kind of the 2D equivalent to greebles to make his art more interesting and more detailed. So yeah, I got very inspired by that and made a bunch of stuff basically, a bunch of overlays that y'all can put on your walls and some scribble fonts. Yeah. So if you want to use these, it's pretty straightforward. You can let's say I have this wall here and you can use this grunge material. So it's called Grunge 2, I believe. So what you can do is this is my main material, right? So you mix these two together. If you hit Control and Shift and right click drag with Node Wrangler on, you can do that. And if you set this to overlay, I think, yeah, you can get some pretty nice details. And I think maybe it was actually some you can use a bunch of different different overlays here to get like a bunch of different um looks out of it. If you want to do that, soft light, linear light. Oh, that's a lot. I mean, can really go nuts. But yeah, I like this overlay. And what I did here is I used an overlay and then a um, a screen on top of that, which you can do if you want to have even more detail. You want to get the white spots too. And then you can take whatever you want from this. Like I have separated ones and ones that are just everything in a pack that you can just kind of slap on like this. And these do not cast any shadows, so it doesn't really matter if you put them. I mean, you will notice the parallax here, obviously, but you don't have to put it like exactly like taper to the wall. You can kind of put it like this, and it's still kind of it's going to work. Um, and I have a bunch of those things that you can just kind of use to gritty up your walls. And I mean, whatever, put them on whatever. And if you want to stick them to more complicated objects, like this Susan monkey right here, let's see if we can subdivide that real quick. And if you want to stick something on it, you've probably done this before, but if you haven't, this could probably be useful to know. It's called shrink wrap, so you just subdivide it a few times and shrink wrap, and you just hit the surface you want it to shrink wrap on, and that's it. You have your stuff there. It's gonna warp and deform according to what surface you select, and it should just work. And if you want to control the amount of let's put this on the, oh, that looks awful. Who cares? But you can control the amount of fadedness or the amount of damage you want using this slider here. So the more you put it up, the more clean they're gonna look, and the more you put to this side, the more faded they're gonna be. So you can really play around with this. You can make it like totally black if you want to, and like have some completely removed parts if you like that. Yeah. And we have these scribble fonts. You can type your own, type up your own kind of stuff if you want to do that, and just plaster that on like that. And yeah, that's kind of it. Feel free to use these in whatever you want, and hopefully they're gonna be a nice tool to have it in your tool belt. All right, I'll see you later. Jesus.